Hi guys, Rhonda without an H here with you. Okay, so this is book idea challenge number 15. And just to show you, I did Jean Peters. Her challenge was shapes from pages, and I modified it a little bit. And instead of, I did cut this out, but instead of letting this be my edge, I went ahead and blacked around mine. But I like it. I like it. It's cool. Just another fun idea. So if you haven't taken a look at that yet, make sure you do so. Now, this is what we're going to do, and I will show you what I'm doing here. Now, I did, early in the challenge, I did scrap papers, making book pages out of scrap papers. But since then, I have done some really fun edging with fabrics and yarns and papers and laces, and it just makes a really simple, fun edging. And you can do this edging on these pages, which are created by scraps, or you could do them, you know, on other papers. I've been using these a lot. So anyway, let me get my supplies and we will get started. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I'm going to start with. And if you don't have, I picked this up in a thrift store, I don't know, 10 cents, 20 cents, something like that. Adding machine tape. If you don't have something like this, you can certainly use like a tissue paper and cut it down to size. So to determine the amount that we're going to do, now you can also make snippet rolls out of these, absolutely. And you can take this as long as you want. But for this project, I only want it the length of my page. And so I will quickly measure that. So it's 8.5 inches long. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And we will do. And I'm going to make it a little bit longer than what I need so that I can trim. All right. Oh, that looks really awkward, doesn't it? Whoa, that's because it's really awkward, and I'm giving you a bad example. You're never supposed to do that with your rotary cutter and fabric, but hey, we're not doing, well, we are doing fabric, but this is not normal quilting. Okay. This will give me 3 strips. If I want. I can have more if I choose. And this is 3 inches wide, I think. Let's see. Actually, it's 2 3/4 inches wide. So I can get 2 strips or 3 strips, depending on how I cut them. Because once I get this stitched up, then I'm just going to come in with my ruler and I'm just going to cut. But if you want a wider strip, then, you know, just do it in half, cut it in half. You're the boss. You're the boss, so you do what you want. So basically all I'm doing, guys, is I am taking bits and pieces of scraps. I've got like, I got scraps. I have bits and pieces, and I'm just, okay, let's just start. Just start somewhere. So for this, I will use a glue stick just to tack it down, and then I will take it to my sewing machine and stitch when I get a bunch of things tacked down. Okay, so, and we're just, this is just plain. I'm just going to cut up some of these little bits and pieces. And I'm even just gluing right on this because it's all going to be glued. And I want to extend just a little bit outside of that. Okay, let's just cut a triangle of paper. We'll just put that right there. This is just fun, This is when... you don't want to have to come up with this amazing something or other. You've worked hard all day and you want to come home and you just want to relax and play. Or maybe you didn't work hard all day, but that's okay. You could still play. And we're just adding fabrics and papers. We're not going to be, too stuck up. We'll use stuff. I hope you'll give this a try. I really do. This is super fun stuff. I've done this before. And it's something that I kind of keep coming back to. This is kind of a cool thing, but I don't need it in the form that it was going to be. I'm just playing. This is a great way to use up your scraps and do something a little bit different, fun and creative, and yet not terribly stressful. We're just playing, guys. All right. Oh. Can you believe that it's the middle of, oh my gosh, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is just right here. I can't believe how fast this month is going, and January's already gone. I don't know why it is, but it seems to take forever, for Christmas, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's time for Christmas again. It's weird. Ooh, that's going to be a cool one. I'm going to stitch that one down. So what I will do is I will go ahead and I'm not going to glue it just yet, but I'll show you after I have that stitched how fun a piece like that is in here. And as you can see, there is literally, guys, there is no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I am just picking up stuff, laying it down. All right. I hope everybody is having a great day. Ooh, what in the world is this? Oh, I remember. This is, just to share with you, I went to a flea market, and I was actually kind of disappointed because they didn't have a whole lot of, I don't know. It was mostly clothes, and I don't buy clothes, generally speaking, because I'm not skinny and petite like I used to be. And it used to be so much fun to go shopping, and not so much. But I did find there were a couple of flags for have you ever seen on the Olympics where they actually have flag twirlers, or they have these great big long flags and they're colorful and they do pretty things with them, twirl them and stuff? Well, I came across a couple of those, and so I took the stuff off, and it had these gorgeous silk, and it was in variegated colors. Well, isn't that pretty? So, anyway, you never know, guys, what you're going to find at a thrift store, at a flea market. Here's a little quilted piece. We'll just add that. I don't want to build up too terribly much texture. I mean, I don't want it to crowd everything and be big and bulky, but a little bit is fine because, like I said, I'm going to stitch stuff down. Oh, let's see. Sometimes you just have so much. It's just, which I do, and I did send to my friend a while back all of my paper scraps. I did, and crammed the box full. And it was full of all kinds of stuff. But as you can see, let me show you. I have created more. And this has been less than a month ago that I did that I cleaned it out. It's just insane how when you're working on projects, things just, it just happens. It just happens, guys. So what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? I'm curious. Are you going out with a loved one? Are you, if you have a sweetheart, are you going out? Are you making it a special treat for both of you? Do you do a special meal? What do you do? I used to, when we had the kids at home, I used to go ahead and, I would make them just kind of a fun Valentine-y something. Candy, usually. Something that they liked. But they're long gone. Got their own kiddos and doing their own what to do on, Valentine's Day. It's just hubby and I. And in all honesty, we've gotten kind of lazy in the last few years, and we haven't really done anything that I would call, wow, way special. We love each other. We enjoy each other's company. That's for sure. And it's not that I don't know. What should we do? What do you guys do? Give me some ideas for when you just, I think what started to happen was we went to go to dinner for Valentine's Day, and you couldn't find a place to have a good meal because everybody and their dog was there, and you had to wait for like 2 hours to get in anywhere. And I think that kind of started to, we're just like, really? Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. What kind of experiences have you guys had with that? Okay, alrighty. Okay, this is kind of cool. Well, let's just do a little more, and then I'm gonna sort of layer. Keeping in mind, I'm gonna be cutting this, and this would be fun, huh? One thing about layering is you just have to know that when you first start layering, oftentimes what you put down and you think is really cool and you love it doesn't turn out to show because you've put other things on top of it, and then it's gone. But that's okay. You just have to keep that in mind when you're doing these types of Get down there. When you're doing these kinds of activities, that is going to be one of the things that you might think about. So if there's something you really, really love, maybe wait and put it on the top rather than as you begin. Just something to think about. And I think that I am going to go ahead and do mine in half. Now see what I'm doing here, putting kind of a fun little picture. This is also from one of my videos earlier of using washi tape and how to make embellishments from washi tape and dictionary pages, old pages. And I love these. I love them. Use them a lot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a minute or a few minutes. I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I am going to stitch this down, and then I will return. I don't know if I'll put in. Anyway, I'm going to stitch this down and I will be back and show you. And then we'll go ahead and we'll cut, we'll trim, and we'll cut, and we'll put it on a page. All right, don't go away. Okay, this is what it looks like as I have stitched everything down. Let me turn it over. Look at I mean literally, this is just like junk sewing. You know, it's a mess. What you want to consider when you're stitching is make sure that you tack things down adequately enough so that, I'm just clipping my threads off here, so that when you cut it, it'll still be intact. And as you can see, I added a little bit of this feathered trim and a little bit of ribbon here. Excuse me. And then I thought, you know, why not bring out a couple more? So that's what I'm doing here, is pulling from my stamps. And that's cool. Just, you know, I mean, anything is okay. There's no wrong thing that you can do here. It's just all whatever is floating your boat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue those down, and then I'm going to take this back to my sewing machine for one more little bit of stitching, and then she said, and then we'll be back and we'll cut this puppy up and we'll put it on some paper. All right. Okay, here we have stitched our stamps down. Any little, you know, fun little pictures, mini would be fun. Little advertisements, anything. Flowers, whatever. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is trim. I'm going to turn this over and I am going to trim. So let me go ahead and stand up here and trim. And you can, obviously, if you don't have the method that I do, you can use scissors. All right, we'll turn that around. And we will trim on this side. All right. This is just a fun little different something or other to do. And then I just, now, if this were included more fabric, than paper, I would go ahead and save that to make more fabric, but because it wasn't, I didn't. All right. All right, so this measures 2 3/4 inches, and I want a half. So that's just shy of 1.5. I'm just doing this one with 2. And I'm cutting through the whole thing. All right. So you can see that this is, look what fun strips to put on, you know, your pages. Okay, so let's do that. Let me grab a page. Okay, so next, what I would do if I'm using this, then what I'm going to do first is decorate that just a little bit. Let me clear my space off just a little bit here for you. And when I say decorate this, what I really mean is I'm going to get some scrap papers out here, and I'm going to let's see. Yeah. I want this to be more plain. In other words, at least next to the edge there. So we're gonna start out with, where's my glue stick? And I'm gonna do the same thing on my paper that I did on the adding machine paper roll. I'm just gonna start and glue onto that, and then I will stitch to tack that down. Let's see, here's something. Let's just most of these things I have picked up in thrift stores or whatnot. I go to garage sales, I go to thrift stores, I go to flea markets, and quite honestly, sometimes you can just get so much stuff, it's just like you gotta stop somewhere. And sometimes I don't even go for a period of time because I just feel guilty if I, whoops, that's not even on camera, apologize. I feel guilty if I have all these things and I'm not using them. And that's another thing that I've thought about creating to put in my Etsy store, excuse me, some packets of ephemera and whatnot, because I've really got some great ones. Okay, so this is kind of cool. I'm thinking one more little doohickey here, yeah, just because I like the, oh well, this is really big, a big area here, so I'm gonna cut that off just a little bit. It's not really cutting it off, I'm just covering it a little bit with some of my paper here. Okay, so I'm going to now take this, I'm going to stitch this page, and I'm going to stitch this to the end, and I'll punch my holes and everything, but I'll show you that. So I'll be right back. So this is my finished page. Oh, excuse me. Ah. Just a minute. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I have a cough. As you can tell, I have a cough. All right, so I had made my strips just a little bit longer, so I was trimming that off. Now, what would you do with the back of this? Whatever you want. You can put 2 pages together so that they're both decorated and make a pocket. Either here to open here or on the side. Or you can go ahead and glue and play here, do some painting. You know, whatever you want to do with it. So that, my friends, that is it for the Idea Book Challenge. This is number 15 again. Check out, I'll put the link to Jean's channel. And she will be up next week for another one as well. So we do these, I do one a month and she does one a month. So keep an eye on, subscribe. And I hope that this is something that you can do and enjoy, have fun with. If you're not in the Idea Book Challenge, I hope you have an idea. This would make great journaling pages. This is wonderful. Oh, one thing I did forget to show you that I will very quickly do, and I think I've showed you this before with the reinforcements, but I am just, with my punch, I am punching in the center of these. Now, I don't have the absolute correct punch. This is a 1/4 inch punch, and I have a 3/8 inch punch, but it's in between. But I've found that as long as I put the reinforcements on, I don't seem to have any problems with this. And so that's what I'm doing. And then I flip it over and I make sure to reinforce this side as well. Now, if you're going to put another page to the back, if you don't want to paint or do some type of collage or something on the back side here, then make sure you wait to put your reinforcements on until, you know, you've, whatever you're going to do with it. If you're going to make a pocket, add the other page, and then when you've got them all together, then go ahead and add the reinforcements. But that is it. Until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye now.